In 2016, doing his national diploma in logistics and thereafter his advanced diploma, Luntu Taule never thought he'd end up here. He says no matter how hard he tries, things don't come together for him. Applying to jobs hasn't been working out for him, but he's keeping the faith.
In the man that I do, it doesn't even manage me to buy electricity at home. You see, but it's for the time being, just to equip myself from doing the right things instead of going and sitting in the corners. And I'm doing this thing to run away from depression, because sitting in one place, you can be depressed. So I'm trying to run from it. It hurts me, but I'm trying to run from it.
Things aren't much different for 25-year-old Asanda Marks. Being the oldest of her siblings, she couldn't rely on her parents to support her after graduating with 2 separate degrees in journalism and media communication and culture.
I'm unemployed, sitting home and doing nothing, because that could frustrate you. And I think the advantage was that when you are in varsity, there's most a bursary and a spouse. So you do not feel that you are unemployed, because at least there's like an allowance that you get monthly. So I think that's why I went back to school.
Youth unemployment has been on the rise in the country for over a decade now. Economists say the trend looks set to continue for a while.
If you go back to pre-94, there was really very massive unemployment in the Eastern Cape. And it trended upwards after 94. And it kind of like hit some sort of almost a plateau. And then obviously after 2008, and particularly with COVID, it's been going up. So, it's kind of an indicator, I think, of the state of the country, the unemployment rate. And so unless we start to make progress on a broader front, right, in terms of governance, policy formation, implementation, that's just going to go up and up.
There's consensus that the COVID-19 pandemic, the country's poor economic standing, and the Russian-Ukraine war have worsened the job market. Brain drain is a real issue for the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro.
It leaves a void that we call brain drain. And also the reason that we have an exodus of number of young people going to other provinces and of course other countries is because the demand side is failing. They have skills that don't match what the employer demands, and therefore they find themselves being educated and then they can't find jobs. We call that structural unemployment. So we need to fix that to make sure that we balance the scales in terms of the demand and supply, that where we give students skills that they actually is needed by the firm.
Professionals studying this pandemic say the youth need to watch the economic trends of the country to see where jobs are needed that fit their skill and preference set.
So our skills shortages, one of the areas it exists in is within artisanal jobs. So those would be things like plumbers, for example, electricians. Yeah. So those trades would be, when you look at our scarce skills list, those would be some of the most urgent types of skill sets that we are in need of. So I think if we were to look at it in the way of saying, are we losing skills, necessary skills in the country? Yes, in terms of professionalize, the world is globalizing, so people would naturally go for higher paying jobs in other countries or other cities if that's being availed to them. But the other aspect is that, are we creating avenues to participate in jobs where we do have scarce skills?
It is said that the need for job creation is one of the greatest concerns of city managers, as youth unemployment is sitting at a staggering 63%. Kim Daniels, SABC News, Gqeberha.